Pisces.
Hello Pisces, this is your forecast for 2014, and the month is starting with Venus turning direct here January 31st. So February 1st, from the very first day, you are combining it with Pluto. This is a powerhouse of energy taking place in the 11th house for your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, and that of networking, social networking, groups and organizations. Venus being the power of love, also it's money and it rules your income. And then Pluto here is what is transforming everything new. So there's like this new beginning. There was whatever has been working for you, say from the end of December when Venus went through and went retrograde on the 21st. It has been working back over those things that you started on and refining it, retweaking it, and so now you're ready to go. You have a 5-day window here if you're going to write or sign any contracts, because Mercury will go retrograde on February 6th through the 28th. Not a good time to sign anything there, but this first week is a great time for you. Also financially, like I said, especially if it has to do with anything that has to do with teaching or bringing out, mentoring, guiding. You have Saturn up there in the 9th house, and so Saturn and Pluto together here, they're angled with this Venus, and so you can really come across the wires in a powerful way. If you're writing or publishing, for example, this would be a time for it to come out on the networks. And Venus here also I see is tying into some hopes and dreams that you not only have been working on throughout that of 2013, but now it's more like your personal wishes are also empowering, getting stronger. It's like you've expended so much energy on how to get things going out there for people, but now it's also more what it is you want for you. How do you want to empower yourself in your own life as well, even though the 11th house is very public still, right? But I'm seeing the sun going through your 12th house is that you're going to have a need and a wish and a want to kind of pull back a little bit, go a little bit behind the scenes so you can catch your breath. We only have one moon this month, and that's the full moon on the 14th. I'll get back to that. Normally we have a new moon and a full moon each and every month. January held 2 new moons and a full moon. So no new moon intentions here in February, but if you catch this forecast early enough, you will find that the new moon is on January 30th. And the area that you want to cover here is you taking time for yourself, taking more time to yourself. This whole 2013, it's like you were running here, like you were doing the marathon all year long. So the promise to yourself is to promise that you give yourself more time to step back, to go out and smell the roses, to do things that are healing and replenishing of your own inner internal batteries, and be a little bit more behind the scenes perhaps. The sun here is supporting you, energizing you in the quietude of maybe taking a break, not necessarily traveling, it could be, but taking a break from those day-to-day hectic activities. And you will love this, all right? In the meanwhile, you've set everything else up, so it's still working and flourishing around you, but you are able now, because you've been working ahead so much, able to take this time off. Now, Mercury is going to be retrograde this month. It's one of those times here again, and it will be from the 6th through the 28th, and for you, it's going to start off here in the 1st house, which is personality, it's your goals, it's your path, it's what you're bringing out to the world, how this is perceived by others, of course. You got Neptune there, so they're seeing something now that seems to be new, that you've been working on. And then from the 6th, it's going to go back into the 12th, stay there for a while before it's going to turn around. And so we're way out here now already in March before it's going to approach the first house again. So that just means that you want to take this time off. When it goes retrograde in the 12th house, once again, time to step behind the scenes, right? And catch up on those things that you haven't had time to do. This is what you are going to give yourself as a gift. That is also the intentions, because you don't have a chance before next year to put that down. We have Mars now, 8th house. So Mars, that is your ambitions, it's your goals, it's your drives. The 8th house has to do with joint ventures, investments, money you have with other people, shared accounts, and so forth. Normally it takes 6 weeks to transit through an area. You're going to have this all the way until summer, June, July, where the focus is going to be on how this can work with you and an eventual partner. It could also be a group, and how you can be receiving dividends, how you can be steering it, which Mars does. The energy, everything now that you're putting into this area is what is going to be supporting you actually for a much longer time to come. And this is why the universe is giving you this ample time to work it all out, to really look ahead here. It's in the 8th house, which is a Scorpio house, so you're going to feel it very deep down in spirit. There's a lot of passion running through here, so you're going to be loving what you're doing. And I say loving what you're doing because it's in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus. So when Venus is here, it's getting at a Mars-Venus effect. And of course, it's also called the house of intimacy. So when Mars-Venus works together like this and over a long time, well, you'll simply be loving the time that you have between now and, say, high summer, okay? But make the most out of it. As long as you know where to focus, you can tweak this. And Saturn's asking you to master something. It's in the 9th house of that higher knowing, understanding. It's also in the area where you're reaching out towards foreign people, cultures, religions, languages. It's also you perhaps coming across as a teacher, or you will also be learning something within these areas of philosophy or philanthropy as well. So you see how the intensity coming together right now is all working, or should I say shunting through to those things that you've been working on all through. I'd like to say 2012 was when it really started, this new direction, but 2013 was when you were hammering it down. Now you're going to start seeing it in practical terms all coming out, and you will be the recipient of this. Now you have Uranus in the 2nd house for income. Uranus is excitement. Uranus is change. It also rules technology, so maybe some of the way that you're making your income stream is through the internet. It is through technology and equipment, and it rules the 11th house. So once again, income streams through technology from the 11th house, which is groups and organizations and the networks. Well, this is probably where Uranus is going to take some big twists and turns. It can come overnight, like a floodgate opening up. It could also be with foreign people that you have been working with. That's showing up there with Saturn in the 9th house. That might have been a little delayed. Maybe you put a lot of work in at some time earlier where you didn't see the outcome of it, but which now can start opening up floodgates to receive. And I see this also because Jupiter is in your 5th house of self-expression, creativity, and projects that you do. Now Jupiter is retrograde until April 8th, but you can still bring in things from the past that you worked on that might have felt like delayed or put aside or shelved. But now you can see that that's going to start picking up between now, April, and then after April, even more so when it goes direct. So this is a full chart of you living your dreams and manifesting your dreams, And then let's talk a little bit about the 14th. It's Valentine's Day. This year a little special because it is in Leo. It is on the 14th itself. So that doesn't always, Valentine's Days are always nice, but we don't always get to have a full moon on Valentine's Day. And it happening to be in the sign of Leo, well, that just makes it that much more fun. So you're going to really go to town this year. And so totally enjoy it. On the 15th, you will have the Sun and Mars align beautifully here with a trine. So something good is coming out of the 14th that you will know on the 15th, okay? And that is between your Sun and Mars, so that's the 12th house, 8th house. Both of them are water signs, so they're quite intuitive. They interconnect this way. You might just make a certain decision, or maybe somebody's coming back to you with a decision that they have made for you. And in that case, it could be something within the area of joint ventures, mutual agreements, okay? And something that can actually become a spin-off down the road. So first part of February, let's get to the top of the month, is going to be a little quiet, and that's good. We can all need a little break. It's been busy there throughout December and then January as well. February is going to give you a breather until the 11th, where there is going to be a situation where you might feel that you need to make a choice, but you don't need to make the choice quite yet. You might feel that somebody's anticipating it from you because Saturn's there, right? That's the weight of them wanting something. But the Sun, meaning you're not quite feeling it yet. So don't push it. Don't push your intuition. If you're feeling that you're going to need to guard it and hold it off just a little bit longer, well, stand strong and do so. Actually, the end of the month is much better, which is the 25th, when Venus moves into this very same degree here to Saturn, which will give you that conviction, that sense of, yes, this is it. This is what I want to do. Now I know. Only then should you actually enter into any new agreement, even though here Mercury is still retrograde for another 2 or 3 days, so I wouldn't sign anything, but at least you can give some feedback to whoever it is and say, I think I'm pretty aligned, I think I've made my choice, maybe we can get together and rejoin in a few days, and then we can go over whatever agreements. That would be the best way to do so. So that's pretty much what we have here for you, Pisces, this month. It's always exciting to look for you and listen to your moon and rising signs so you can get even more insight. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, do so now so that you can get your next month forecast directly to your inbox. And I'll see you next month. Bye now.